Hey, friend.
Hey, girl, hey.
I'm so excited about this episode.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about seasons lately.
Right? And so it's fall. It's fall, y'all. How are we going to get our life together?
It's fall, y'all. Look at you.
But don't you feel that way in fall? Like, there's a lot of energy. It's kind of like the new year.
All I keep thinking about is winter is coming. But this episode is good for me because I'm going to embrace, like we said, a spirit of adventure, all 4 seasons, fall, bring it on. Question for you, though. Are you down with the pumpkin spice latte gang at Starbucks with their Stanleys in one hand and their PSLs in the other?
I'm really offended.
Girl, the streets wanted to know. Somebody told me they saw you with your PSL.
I have never ordered a fucking PSL.
Well, I don't know why you mad at me. It's what the people told me about you. That you got in the car with your Stanley.
Tashira.
You had your Lululemon leggings on with your UGG boots, Margo. And a sweatshirt that said Cool Mom. And you had your PSL. That's what I heard. And I said, you're a fucking liar.
You heard it from who?
I heard it on the streets. And I said, don't you tell my friend like that. I said, not Margo Catherine Lindauer. So no, I corrected them.
So the pumpkin thing is so annoying because I actually do like pumpkin spice. But I can't order that coffee. It's out of control.
Pumpkin is everywhere. And it's so funny because my partner actually got one the other day. She's like, this is terrible. I was like, duh, bitch, why did you order that?
Yeah, and also, it's August.
People was like, it's here. The time is here. And no shade, no tea. If you love pumpkin, I want you to go off and have everything
pumpkin pie
that your heart desires. But what I'm saying is we're trapped in a pumpkin sales funnel, people.
Yeah. Speaking of capitalism, if you like my shirt.
Great plug.
It's real cute. This is a new bespoke threaded seamstress done shirt that my friend got me in Guatemala.
Yes,
and Tashira's wearing our signature t-shirt.
Let me just say that I tried to wear that shirt, but it was giving Hulk Hogan down at the RNC, girl. I was about to rip that thing open. So it looks great on you.
Oh, thank you.
And I can't wait till I get one in my size. But in the meantime, you all can shop at justUSpodcast.com.
And stay tuned. By the time this episode comes out, maybe we'll have some of our fall merchandise.
Yes. Yeah. We'll do it with a pumpkin
spice
latte.
I didn't know it was called a PSL.
Yeah, that's what they call it, girl. Because you're not a true fan.
Hashtag PSL?
Hashtag PSL.
You're not being facetious.
No, Margo, this is a thing. I don't know why I know this and you don't.
Sometimes I wonder, it's like, you know more sometimes about a suburban mom culture than I do. What is that?
They were my teachers. They were
my teachers too.
No, but in a different way in the South, girl. I think very different. I think there's something about, you liberals up north, you Yankees, that you kind of are open to a bit more diversity. And I'm not saying that people don't live a very similar lifestyle wherever you are. Community is a thing, right? But what I am saying is there is a very strong cultural norm around certain things that I grew up in the midst of, like Vera Bradley tote type wearing was a thing for me my entire life. And so, yeah.
I had a Vera Bradley.
Me too.
What color?
I told you I was, enmeshed in it. I had a book bag. It was black.
I had a white and blue Weekender.
Ooh, the Weekenders were the night. Girl, you was balling with the Weekender.
But now that I'm older and have back problems and I have a suitcase that I'm like, what was I doing with that huge thing getting on and off trains and buses to New York?
I feel that way every time I see somebody with a Louis Vuitton.
Neverfull?
A keep all or whatever it's called. The luggage. I'm just like, girl, I know it's LV.
One that's,
yeah. But
that's not comfortable.
We got to put that thing on wheels.
They have a wheel one.
When my sciatica work,
Yeah, same.
Okay, a bit of a deviation.
It's fall, y'all. Get your life together.
Why do you keep reading the title? You're reading it like you didn't write it.
Okay. I'm just trying to get... Okay, how does that make you feel? I can tell you how it makes me feel.
Go ahead.
I feel like the fall is going to be transformative.
Oh, shit. Say more.
I feel like I'm in a season, or I'm coming out of a season of shedding. And the fall is going to be part of that.
Ashay. Yeah, talk about this. Tell us more. What are you shedding?
So kind of rewind to our episode about our summers. And I feel like this summer was like had a lot of me revisiting my past and reacquainting myself with some old friends and old memories that I hadn't. And also kind of like sitting in some loss that I've experienced over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And the fall, I don't know if it's like there's a lot of new beginnings in the fall, and just in general, but like for me in this moment in time, and for my family.
Yeah.
So my kids are all, 2 of them are at new schools,
Yep.
which is big for them and for us. I'm starting a new school. I'm starting 2 new schools. I'm teaching at a new law school.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm starting my own program.
True.
We're in a different season of the podcast. Yeah. We have a big event that is going to kick off the fall, which will have already happened when this airs.
Period. And I already know it was lit.
Right. And we're just putting it out there. It's going to be sold out.
Period.
It was sold out, people.
I hope you were even able to get in the door, honestly.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It just feels like a shedding and just like believing that good things are coming. Mm-hmm. How about you?
I just want to pause and reflect on that, because remember when you were like, I just don't feel well. I'm so tired. My body is not feeling like it's my own. And now here we are with you saying it feels like excitement and renewal and shedding. Like, I'm proud of you, dog.
I still could use some Addy.
Ativan or Adderall?
No, not that. Addie. Don't you remember Addie from Dr. Hirsch?
No. You're talking about the sex stuff.
It was supposed to be a joke, but it fell on flat ears.
I'm sorry, but maybe they can sponsor us. So Roger, keep that in.
Okay, what about you? Yes, I feel that way too. I feel a lot more hopeful than I have in a long time.
That's bomb. For fall, I am looking forward to a slower pace. You know, it is going to be slow motion for us. No big trips planned besides the holiday season. And I am a holiday season fiend. I love Christmas. I love Thanksgiving. Everything about family and the tree and like my tree goes up Thanksgiving night. Period. If not, it's up by the next day.
To Tashira's alter ego of the suburban white mom.
Okay, full circle.
You're like, I put my tree up.
Put my tree.
All my ornaments are organized.
All I'm saying is they may be organized in bins that are labeled, is all I'm saying. Okay.
I use colored lights here and white lights here. Mm-hmm. I have my eggnog latte.
I have special gloves because when I'm shaking out the tree, you just gotta.
Well, that sounds great. I really like Christmas too, even though.
It. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. So I get very excited about the holiday season that I know is approaching in fall. And again, I'm looking forward to nesting. I really want to be at home because what I realized, Margo, is so much happened, right? Moved into this house. I knew the house needed to have some upgrades and just kind of small renovations, nothing big. You've been to my home, you know this. But then I go through a breakup and trying to get settled again in my home and make it truly reflect me has been hard. And now I am committing myself to that this fall. And I think I'm going to start dress shopping, which I'm looking forward to. And also, you said something to me that was so dope last night. You were like, what if you wore like a really dope bustier and some jeans? And I'm like, duh, bitch, that's like my aesthetic.
Yeah, no, I don't understand. Not that like you would look so beautiful in a big gown, but it's like I don't know. What if you like Kamalaed it up and just wore a pantsuit?
I can do whatever.
Like wear a pantsuit and a bra.
I could do whatever. That's so dope. And I will do multiple looks.
Right. So you're gonna have like a mini dress. You'll have different. What about a skirt and a bustier thing with like a bow, like a fur thing?
Yeah, like a little drape situation over my shoulders.
Like a.
I like this. My favorite thing that you said though is the suit with the bra, because I can see that so clearly.
Yeah, and you could pull it off. Not everyone could pull that off.
That seems so. I do want to have the moment of when my soon-to-be wife sees me of wearing a dress. There's something very special about that. But after that, we partying.
But like, okay. But that could be also a very simple silk dress.
Yes. And that actually
It doesn't have to be like a bodice.
Oh, God. That kind of stuff makes me not like the wedding planning. Because when I see all of that and it doesn't look like me, it makes me feel like I don't have a space in this. And I have to be reminded that I can create something that I've never seen before.
And the model of weddings, we've talked about this, is something that isn't really authentic to anyone.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. It always makes me sad when brides in particular don't look like themselves.
I have been to a mini wedding like that, unfortunately. Yeah, like people with beautiful natural hair and they come down the aisle with like a middle part bust down. Like, what? Go off, sis. Nothing against wearing extensions, but I'm just confused at how we got there from how you look every other day, which is just as, if not more beautiful.
So I remember at my wedding, people being like, "Oh, you look so beautiful. You look so beautiful." I remember saying to some people, like, "Thank you. It's never going to get better than this." So just like take it in. And I was so like wise beyond my 28 years because like I'm never going to look better than that night.
No, I thought you were saying something different. You look just as good all the time.
Oh, thank you.
Obviously I wasn't at your wedding, but I see pictures then and I look at you now and you a bad bitch. Like, that's just what it is.
But it's also kind of like I looked like myself.
Yeah. That's so important.
Right.
I
didn't change my hair. I was wearing makeup, but other than that, nothing was particularly different.
Exactly. So I want to look like me. And when you say something that feels like a silk, like fitted maxi silhouette, a little back situation, a little clavicle moment.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that
something
a lot.
Off the shoulders,
Ooh.
straight and really low back.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a little train.
Yeah. Yeah, and like maybe we can get into the details, like buttons along the bottom or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice little button. I do want... This will not become a wedding planning podcast, people, we promise.
I mean, big age weddings, it could...
Bitch, what if it's a spinoff? Big age weddings.
Hashtag it, see if people are interested. I don't know. Big age weddings and their friends. What do you wear as a big age woman to a wedding?
First of all, fuck a bridezilla. We could take this thing and take it on the road, because I know there are people who would love to be filmed in this season of life, sharing their love story, talking about how maybe like the average wedding, like you just said, doesn't speak to them at their age and their lifestyle. Y'all let us know.
Okay, can I just say something along these lines? I was at a wedding 2 weeks ago, and people really liked my dress. That's what I was
gonna say. Which makes you an expert. Clearly, this is why we should be doing this.
It was also, though, a big age wedding. It was a big age wedding. It was a big age bride.
Okay.
She was so beautiful. Her dress was...
Okay, so what I was going to say is I'm into a veil situation. And I just think I want like... I don't have hair, so this is going to have to be creative. But I think I just want like a sit it on my face thing. What's that called?
I don't know. I didn't have a veil.
Oh, okay. It's just like sheer... just fabric.
Wait, can I tell you what I think you should have?
Tell me.
A crown. Like a diamond crown.
Yeah, I can see that.
Empress.
But not
Fempress.
Thoughtress.
Trempress.
Not a tiara. You think a full crown.
Oh, maybe a tiara.
Maybe a tiara. I have to figure out something because obviously this is my head, my hair. Nothing is changing about that. But I do think there's a very beautiful way that people can adorn their heads, right? And I'm thinking about, you remember when, well, we were too young to remember this, but seeing pictures of Whitney Houston's wedding with Bobby Brown, she had a full headpiece on. And I always thought that was so beautiful. So we'll figure it out.
What about the headpiece that you wore for that picture you had?
And see, and here is the problem with being a content creator. That I've already done that, so now I don't want to do it for my wedding.
Yeah, but who cares? Your spouse hasn't seen that.
That's true. I don't know.
Okay, anyway. People give Tashira your thoughts.
Let me know. Also, we're having a lot of these conversations in my private community, so feel free to join there as well.
Great. What are some of your goals?
My goals for the fall are to not stress wedding planning.
Good.
First. So I'm going to check that now because I'm just going to have fun with this thing. Second goal is around my business. And I want to this fall complete the curriculum for the Movement for Black Lives. Influencer Academy that we are developing. If you came to Lit and Legendary or you've tuned in to the podcast or other content, you know that I have a partnership with M4BL, Movement for Black Lives, where we are creating 2 cohorts next year of what we're calling the M4BL Influencer Academy. It's a fellowship program for people who care deeply about the world and want to share social justice issues in their content. And so,
like digital activism.
Exactly. And so I will be teaching creators and also organizers who want to be creators how to do that in a way that feels seamless, genuine, and authentic.
So brilliant.
Thank you, friend. And I'm excited to do that for more organizations, honestly. I feel like I'm in this season where I hit my stride. Like, we firing on all cylinders, right? I know the thing that I do well and that I'm passionate about. And there's something around content creating and wanting to change the world and see the world differently that not a lot of people have expertise in and can speak to, right? So what does it mean for you to be, for me, an activist for so many years, but I also have been on the internet for the past decade making fashion and lifestyle content?
And understanding the systems that are not working to propel people forward. Exactly. Right? So it's also your legal background. It's not only your activist background. It's that you deeply understand the structures in place that are holding people back.
And so thank you, friend. I am very excited about entering that phase of my business and my activism, just the work that I do day to day, because I think about something like the Sephora squad. What would it mean for us to have a squad of people that actually share these values that we care so deeply about with the world in a digital space of some form? And so this fall, I want the curriculum to be finished so that I can get some feedback and troubleshoot and all that stuff. And then in January, we're hitting the ground running. We're launching this thing. So I'm excited about that.
I'm so excited for you.
What about you?
So some of my goals are around boundary setting, but also not leaving anything on the table. So those kind of are a little bit in conflict with one another.
Okay.
Right? I want to have better boundaries around my phone and working all the time.
For sure.
And having more designated work time for certain projects. So now I have a bunch of different projects that I'm working on.
Okay.
Including the podcast and the class that I'm teaching and the class that I'm taking and this big project I'm working on and some trainings I'm doing. And so trying to just be more organized about my schedule. I'm scheduling out specific time with each of my kids every week.
Oh, I love that.
Which I'm really excited about.
What kind of stuff are y'all going to do?
So, for example, my littlest has a half day on Wednesdays.
Okay.
Which initially I was so annoyed about. I was like, how? What? You have a 12 o'clock pickup on Wednesdays? But then I was like, no, Margo, this is exactly why I did this.
Okay.
So I'm going to pick her up every Wednesday and we're going to go out to lunch.
Oh, I love that. She's going to look so forward to that every single week.
Yeah, and it's just going to be our time.
Okay. Is that something that's hard? I mean, I didn't grow up in a household where I had any siblings, but definitely no one else was my age. Is that hard for them to share
Yes.
your attention, you and
Yes.
Josh? Yeah.
Someone always feels like they're being left behind.
Okay.
And it's usually my eldest. Well, it's either my eldest or my middle.
Is it because she thinks that you all have more expectations that like,
That we have
you'll
more
get over
expectations
it?
for her, or she doesn't need us as much.
Yeah.
And she's in this huge period of transition. She's going into high school next year. So there's going to be a lot of work to do getting her ready for that. So there's a lot of family stuff, but it's all exciting.
But you're excited about it. That's good. No, that's very positive. You know what I want to do this fall? We talked about this before. I just want to really get into a good hobby. Honestly.
Me too.
Yeah.
Olive oil.
You know, I'm not going to even address that, Margo.
I want to get better at reading novels.
Yeah.
Do you think the internet has ruined our brains? I sometimes worry, like I can't focus for long enough to read a book.
Margo, it took me 2 years to read a book. No, listen. Now, the book was not good, but I promised myself, because at some point you just have to do your thing. I'm like, I'm too far gone. I've got to finish this book. I stayed up until like 1 a.m. last week, one night, reading this book because I was like, I'm fucking done with this. It's been 2 years. And so now I feel like that's off my plate. I don't feel as guilty about picking up other books. I don't like having like a couple pages of this read, a couple pages of that read. I really need the finality of it all. So something else. I think this fall I found a bookstore in my neighborhood that I didn't even know existed.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm excited about that. I got some books for friends recently, picked up a book for me. So yeah, I'm definitely going to read more. But I had this dream friend. So on my manifestation board this year were flowers, because I said I wanted to get into like floral arrangements. And I had this dream that I was like trapped in a flower shop. And I was like, okay, maybe this is a sign that it's time for me to like maybe find some floral arrangement classes or go back to my goal at the beginning of the year. That could be something I do this fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or doing a porch garden.
Absolutely.
Or raised beds.
I like that. Yeah. Cool weather. So like kale, leafy
basil,
vegetable. I like that.
Mint.
Yep. That's a good idea. I might do that this weekend.
I want to do some gardening.
Okay. Your mom is
a big gardener.
Yes.
She did all. Yes. She's amazing.
I'm going to go and visit her house and get some tips.
She wants you to visit her house too.
I would love that.
Okay. What are you going to do if you don't meet your goals?
If I don't finish my goals, I think I'm in a season of life where it is what it is. It'll be my winter goal.
Yeah, I was going to say something because you said something last night that really resonated with me. And I'm moving away from catastrophic thinking. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, so it doesn't get done. It'll get done another time. This wasn't the right time. You can have goals and not meet them, and it doesn't mean that you failed.
Exactly. And the
goals are the fun thing.
We can normalize that. Yeah. And obviously, I think we are, even by setting the goal, we are the kind of people that, we're pretty high functioning. Things are going to be achieved. Things are going to get done. I don't think it's a failure on our part or something wrong with us if we don't check one box out of the 25 we check in the course of one day.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also think that the opportunity for starting fresh, like with the new year, we can really recreate that energy anytime, and the fall is a good time to do that. So I'm going to get a new journal.
Ooh, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, so guess what my other new thing is? Scrapbooking. Don't say anything about me being a suburban white woman again. I know that's, as I said it, I felt it. I did. I felt it. Coming out of my mouth, I felt it.
Tell us more.
I got a little Kodak, those little printers that connects to my phone, and I've been printing pictures, and I'll put them in my daily journal and talk about like my day and like add reflections. And my partner and I also do the same thing for our trips. And so we had a whole evening last week where we took all these little small things that we had been collecting from a recent trip and we wrote about it and we printed pictures out and we made a little scrapbook.
That's really cute.
So I'm looking forward to doing more of that. It's just like memory keeping. I saw a documentary when I was at the Martha's Vineyard African American Film Festival. And it was by Dream Hampton. And folks who don't know her, she was like one of the first hip hop journalists. So as the genre was even emerging, she was at, I think, NYU, or she was in New York studying journalism and found herself with a group of people who started this rap magazine called The Source.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Right? And from there, she worked at, I think, Vibe and other big name magazines and was known as like this hip hop feminist, you know, the one that would call people out about the misogyny in rap. Long story short, she was also good friends with Biggie. And so she produced a documentary that literally was comprised of all of this film that she had from maybe a 2-3 year period. And
Biggie.
Her, Biggie, you see Puffy, you see Method Man, other rappers that I didn't know, but like were maybe pivotal in the start of the movement. You saw the Locks, like a lot of these hip hop, like male all-stars. You saw Lil' Kim. You saw this really abusive moment actually between Biggie and Lil' Kim. Everybody smoking blunts, like it was just wild to see. And at the end of it, the thing that struck so many people in the audience was, how did you still have this? And how are we archiving our stories? Because I don't know what the cloud is going to look like in 20 years.
I know. I think about that all the time. I mean, I don't know. I'm not great at that.
So I just want to go back to feeling like I have something physical in my possession. And that's what the scrapbooking and the memory keeping is doing. And I've always, I love paper. Mm-hmm. So I've always loved that to some degree. But getting back to it feels good.
Yeah. I love that. I'm gonna think about that too.
Well, I did buy you didn't I buy you like a...
You bought me a camera.
Oh, okay.
I still have it.
I've never saw you use that thing one time.
That's not true.
Oh, okay. Sure.
That's not true. I'm not. That's not true.
But you was about to lie. You had to hold it in.
Okay. So let's have a check-in in late November about this.
I love this.
But what are the kind of like metrics, or how are we going to know that we've been successful?
Okay. Wait.
Let's write them down.
Yeah, let's write this down. Okay. So I am committing to do like a writing retreat by mid-November. That actually gives me, and it's probably going to be like a staycation. And I'm going to treat myself to somewhere really cute.
Just by yourself?
By myself, and work on the curriculum.
Okay.
So that's one thing. And I think if I have done that, I know I will be successful because I will have gotten a lot of writing done.
Okay.
What about you?
Okay, so I am, if I continue to feel better and have more energy, then I'll know that I'm on the right track. If I continue to do a lot more functional walking. Do you know what functional walking is?
Bitch, what is that?
It's like walking, but to places.
Okay.
So instead of driving, so for example, this week I had to pick something up at Target. Instead of driving there, I walked there.
How far is that from
like a little over a mile.
Oh, good for you.
So I'm trying to walk 5 miles a day.
Okay.
Like I'm trying to move every day.
Yeah, for sure. Is that like the 10,000 steps that are recommended or something like that? That equals 5 miles. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
I think it's like around that. So I want to continue that.
Okay, good. I love that for you.
I want to cook more for my family and cook with my family. Mm-hmm. And I want to be less frazzled. Although maybe I don't present as frazzled. I feel frazzled sometimes.
No, I mean, because you're really into like scheduling and calendaring. So it sounds like that, at least how you present is
Do I
like
seem
things
rigid?
are together. No, you don't seem rigid. Okay. No, not at all. You seem like on your shit. That's not rigid. I think that's like, I'm about my business. I'm getting the things done. Family, life. We gonna, move this thing in a great motion.
Okay, so we're going to check back.
I'm going to check back in. I will be sending you pictures of my scrapbooking ventures along the way. So that's how I'll know I'm on the right track.
I'm going to be sending you pictures from my camera.
Okay. I'll be waiting on those. All right. Tell us, you all, down in the comments, or leave us a note if you're listening over on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you hear podcasts. What are your fall y'all goals? It's fall, y'all. What are your goals?
Why are you saying that over and over?
Dog, you said it 25 times. Like, it's fall, y'all.
Okay, let's be compassionate with ourselves. Our sponsor today is Whoop. We're both wearing our Whoops. So you had a good kind of like, Margo, you should talk about this. Why Whoop versus something else?
Yes. I'm just so in love with the Whoop, as with many things that you bring into my life, especially ones that are wellness related. You be right on target, friend. You are my wellness whisperer. And I thank you for that.
What a compliment.
And as such, the Whoop tracks your sleep. And not just like your sleep about like how many hours you've slept, but it digs deep into that. And we were also discussing earlier how it differs from something like, let's say, the Apple Watch.
Yeah.
So tell us more about that.
So it's totally different. I actually was going to get you the Whoop for your birthday.
Oh.
And I went back and forth with your fiance about it. And she was like, she's not going to wear it. It's not her style.
I love it.
And we ended up with a tea kettle.
Which I also love.
Big age presents, guys. So it is different than the Apple Watch. I'm not an expert, but there's proprietary technology in the Whoop that does a much deeper dive into the quality of your sleep.
Okay.
The type of sleep you're getting. So we're at the cusp of learning so much more about sleep, right? We know about REM sleep and deep sleep and light sleep, and you can sleep a lot, but if it's not good quality sleep, you still feel like shit.
Let's just say, as a matter of fact, your body heals itself in sleep. Like, one of the best factors of like positive health and health outcomes is your sleep.
So I'm just going to say this, people. Sleep, water, walk.
And you good. You Gucci. I mean,
it's not for all chronic disease. Like, people are like, the best things you can do for yourself is sleep well, walk, water. Oh, community.
Exactly. Yeah, but as it relates to your physical.
But community for your physical health. Because
like doing things in community.
And having loved ones. Because people die from loneliness.
Of course. And so we're talking very specifically about sleep for a reason, because it is so integral to our
health.
I
also would say that it's really, really important in big age. Much more important than, at least for me, than it has ever been in other phases of my life. I cannot function with no sleep.
I'm just so happy to hear you talk about this, because I also think there are those among us who probably just have not slept well for a long time and
forever.
Or forever, right? Especially if, speaking of devices, the TV's always on and you never shut it off.
You can't sleep well.
It's just impossible. How could you? So I am actually going to invest in this for some family members, because I think we all need to do that deep dive. If you guys are interested, make sure you use our code and our link down
It'll
below.
give you a free month.
Oh, good. And it'll give you a free month. And let us know. Happy sleeping.
Happy sleeping and recovery. Maybe we'll start a justUS. What if we started a justUS team? On Whoop.
On Whoop. That's right, because you won't allow me into yours. I would love that, guys. Let's start our own.
That's such a good idea. Okay. Let us know if you join Whoop with our code, and we can get all of us in a team if you want to join. Okay, dumb shit.
Girl. Okay, let's go back. So while we were on break, something magnanimous happened. It was Michelle Obama at the DNC.
It was Michelle Obama's arms.
It was Michelle Obama's with the braids, with the box braids, honey.
It was Michelle Obama's love.
It was
for country.
It was the jacket with the thing with the Wakanda Forever crisscross in the front. It was just Michelle. It was just Michelle. And let me tell y'all something about Michelle Obama. My God, Barack, he's all right. We'll take him. But Michelle, if something happens to Michelle Obama, don't look for me. I wouldn't be well. So we just are so grateful for her. We're grateful for what she does and just her being in this country. For me, in all seriousness, what it means is we don't see a lot of dark-skinned Black women who are like held to the highest regard because colorism is real. Obviously, racism is real. Misogynoir is real. And to see her up there with them damn box braids in her hair as a dark-skinned Black woman, the visibility and the representation it mattered so much to me in that moment. So, Michelle, but cue us up for what she said, friend, because that is really
So you guys know that this segment started off as Dumb Shit Men Say, but we've evolved. And sometimes we like to hold up some magnanimous, as you would say, things other people have said. You should say it.
No, you say it.
Okay, I'll say it. I'll say it. So in our amazing shit segment for today, Michelle Obama at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. Who's going to tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those Black jobs?
It was like mic drop, curtains closed, lights out.
It was the timing, the framing, the confidence.
Who gonna tell him?
And then the follow-up, which is so true, which she just named the thing that, and then she went into like, he doesn't know what to do with a highly successful, very educated, hardworking person who happens to be Black. Public servant, lawyer, right?
Because of literally
it was
the way in which racism affects our brains. Literally the way that it obstructs our thinking. Like there are actual studies and research done on that about how bias works and how quickly we draw conclusions based upon how someone looks.
And so for folks who don't know kind of the origin of the Black jobs, quote, former President Donald Trump said that in an interview with the Black Journalists Association.
And actually, he had said it before. He loves talking about the black population, the blacks.
Like the Black people in this country are all a monolith.
Yeah, they're taking Black jobs. Right.
And so this idea that Kamala Harris should be president, which is a no-brainer. No. In this context.
I mean, compared to this man.
Right, compared to this man. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about compared to anyone else in the world. That she's smart, she's hardworking, she's only worked in government in different levels of public service at the local level, at the state level. She's been a senator, Congress. She's been in Congress, she's been a senator, she's been a vice president.
And this man...
She's run for president before.
This man's been on TV.
And inherited his daddy's business.
We haven't seen no tax refunds, so we don't even know if he got $5 in the bank. I don't know beyond what he simply told us. And it seems to be all a farce, if you ask me.
Right. So it was so good. It was so good. Michelle was so good.
The whole time, the whole speech.
And I've seen her speak live once.
Oh, really?
And she was amazing. And she's always been, actually I've seen her twice because I saw her on her tour.
Okay.
Of her book.
Yeah.
But then I saw her once in 2016. She was stumping for Hillary.
Okay.
In Boston. But sorry, I was just trying to remember when it was. But I feel like maybe they were so under attack during their presidency that she felt tempered.
Oh, for sure.
Right. And people were so horrible to her. And now she's like, what?
What? I mean, I think even the way that she showed up at the book tour, because she's had 2 books, right?
Yeah. So I'm thinking I went to her first book tour.
Okay, I was about to say, because the most recent one.
I wish I had been at the most.
The most recent one, the styling was impeccable. When I tell you it gave like authenticity, and I'm not saying that it was not part of who she was as the first lady. I'm just saying that, in my opinion, from the outside looking in, Michelle lives a quintessentially like culturally Black life. And that is very difficult when you are being criticized for being fucking Black. And so I'm sure there were parts of her that she didn't feel comfortable putting out on public display. But between the book tour and between what we just saw at the DNC, I think this is who she is totally, fully, and completely. And I'm excited. Even the code switching she did in the speech, I was excited about, honestly.
Like what?
It just felt like she was speaking in her natural voice.
And she hadn't done that before.
So I want to be careful because I don't want to make it sound like Black people don't use proper English, but we also have our own dialect as well. And there were moments where I could hear the gone, the ain't, the finna. Like there were moments where I heard that coming out naturally because that's actually how we speak. That's how I'm sure she speaks.
So that's so interesting because I was thinking about her hair too, hair as this political statement.
For sure.
And when you look back at pictures from 2008 and 2012, she looked older than she did last week.
That's so true.
Right, her hair was pressed.
It was always pressed and
it was short,
very conservative little thing.
Mm-hmm. She was always wearing like skirt suits and stockings.
And now,
and she's showing her arms now. She's ripped. Also, like a woman in big age. Mm-hmm. She's 15 years older than us.
She looked it good. Michelle, she looked it good. And we would love to have you on. We would rename the podcast if you would come on.
Michelle, we love you. Wait, do you think Michelle Obama would come on the podcast?
Hell yeah. No, we're going to have Michelle Obama on the podcast. Margo, of course.
Wait, guys, I know we're finishing up, but I just have to tell this story. And Tashira and I have not talked about it openly, but we were in New York a couple months ago because we were scoping out our site at Fashion File. And Tashira we were talking about some of our goals for this coming year. And your ability to dream big, friend, is so inspiring to me. But sometimes I can't tell if you're fucking with me or you're just like encouraging me to be more open. And you know what? I appreciate it.
Okay.
But you were like, we're going to make a documentary. we're going to interview blah, blah, blah. What do you want? You want to solve cancer? We're going to do that too. And I was like, wait, are we really doing all this year?
Bitch, I was high. Tell them how you got me high.
I didn't get you high. You got yourself high.
That's how every after-school special starts, bitch.
I'm not a drug pusher. I happen to have some gummies.
We're on a corner in New York. You pull out of your green Bottega bag.
It's a nice bag.
And she's like, look what I got.
They're good, right?
And yeah, hell yeah. You was like, you want one? I was like, say less.
It's from Provincetown, from a veteran LGBTQIA woman-owned THC place.
We were sitting down at dinner, and I was like, I think I'm high. You high? And you were like,
but I was like, wait, are we making a move? I was on the train home. I had to leave really early the next morning. And I'm on the train home, like, just like, wow, that was such a fun night. Wow, we had a lot of fun. Wait, are we making a move?
Did I agree to a documentary? In that moment, I'm sure it made perfect sense. I literally had that thought. So I do remember that.
But my point is that you have the ability to dream big and drill down.
Oh, I like that. Dream big and drill down. Girl, that's the next t-shirt. Dream big and drill down.
Because it's like, why not if that's what we want?
If that's what you want, do it.
I'm not saying we're going to do that right now, but but I like this.
Yeah.
And it's along with it's fall, y'all, let's get our life together. And I just want to say, for those of you who came to our event in New York, thank you. That was on our
100%.
our manifestation board.
So it's just simply proof of concept, friend. Because if we did that, we could next is the Barclays. Like if we did that.
No, so it's like I'm a little more of an iterative step type of person. Like the first year we were like, we want to go to PlannerCon. We went to PlannerCon.
Period.
Right?
Period.
Last year we were like, we want to have a big event in New York.
Period.
We're doing that.
Period.
And so next year, guys, Michelle Obama's on the podcast.
On the podcast. Do you see what I'm saying?
Or Oprah.
At the Barclays. In a huge arena.
I don't like big crowds.
Margo, get over it. This is where we're headed. We're already there. And we thank you all for being part of our community.
And we'll have a hoodie.
Yeah.
Or a cardigan.
It's fall, y'all. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening to justUS. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to learn more about our podcast, be sure to check us out on our website at justuspodcast.com. You can also reach out to us there if you want to be featured on the show or if you have a business or a product that you think would be a good fit for our audience. Thanks again for listening.